Hi everybody, this is Sherry and I'm going to show you how I put together one of my Christmas cards. This one is going to be Christmas card number 9 and I colored up my image and let me put it on something so you can see it. And this is one of the new My Bestie images that she's done and I love it. It's so cute and I love Santa and Mrs. Claus is a hottie. Woohoo! I can relate. No, I always say if only I'd been born rich instead of good looking. Yeah, like that's my problem. So here's the image we're gonna work with today. I got some designer paper out of the Stampin' Up. I'll bring it up here so you can see. Trim the Tree. Really pretty. And some of these, I mean, you don't have to use for Christmas. Like this one would be fine outside of Christmas. This one would be fine outside of Christmas. It just looks like a flower. And that's what I liked about their designer stack, the small designer stack they had last year. So many of them, you know, could be Christmas but didn't have to be. And I love this. Looks like a flannel shirt, some stripes. Be great for like St. Patrick's Day. Then we've got that one and a green plaid or checked and some red scallops and red and white for Valentine's Day. I like this one too. It's green with little tan stars. And these are the last two. So this is a really nice pad, and if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I have a wonderful demonstrator and I'll put her link below. I cut out it's called a tag envelope and it's from Tags, Bags, Boxes and More from my Cricut. Now it is cut at 6.27 by 11.5. So I did that on my Gypsy so that I could get every inch of space. But if you don't have a Gypsy or, you know, don't use the Cricut Craft Room or whatever, you could cut it probably, I would guess, at 11¼ inches and you'd still get a real good size card. And it had the little tick marks, but I took them out because, you know, you score it right there where the line meets and you score these two little flaps where this line meets, so I didn't need them. So I already went ahead and scored it, and it's got a really pretty scallop top. I like that. And it also comes with a little circle so that you could hang it on a tree. It would make a great gift card holder. Hang that puppy up on the tree and you are set because you don't have to worry about losing it in the gifts. And this is the paper that I picked out, and it's from that designer pack, and I have it cut, let's see, at 4 1/8 inch wide to go across like this, but I have to trim it up yet because I want to make that oval shape right there. Okay guys, I'm back. What I did was I traced around this part of the envelope onto the back of the paper I picked. I used the 4th from the center of the Stampin' Up ovals. Now if you don't have the Stampin' Up ones and you have the Spellbinders, which I have those too, but I wanted a larger one. Now I think the largest of the Spellbinders would probably work for this. If not, you know, I traced it on. You can always, you know, cut it by hand if you want. And we're just going to crank this through and get our paper. Now what I got to do is just take my scissors here and go across the lines, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. One's right there and one's right there, and this should line up pretty good. Now I may cut that a little shorter because I can't remember if I left it the same length or if I made it a little smaller. So put that back through there like that so I don't lose my stuff. And here's what was cut out or what was taken off, and I'm definitely not going to throw that away because I can use that for some punches or something like that. So here's my thing. Let's see how we fit in here. It's easier probably for you all to see this way. I wanted it to be right up against the bottom, and so I think that's pretty good. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Let's take, I'm going to use my ATG, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use that Fast Fuse from Stampin' Up. I'm a Stampin' Up junkie, I admit it, but this stuff is real good and tacky, and I don't have to worry about peeling off those little strips. And so you just get it, I'm going to get it as close to the edge as I can, and then check mark it off is how they say. You do it like you would if you were going to make a check mark like that, and that's what breaks the string, the thing of tape off. So again, down I go and check mark it off, and so that's got a nice firm grip, and I just press it down, and I've got my envelope base. Then we've got our front panel here. Now for that I'm just going to use my regular ATG tape, and let's see, yeah, that looks, I think I'm going to trim that off just a little bit more, guys, because just a little bit's all I'm going to take off, which I couldn't cut straight if my life depended on it, so I can guarantee you that is probably not straight. But that's alright. If they look that close at my Christmas card, then they need to just go out and buy a store-bought Christmas card and say, "Wooloo, we don't need one from Sherry." Wooloo. That's a new word, and if you look it up in the dictionary, you will not find it because I don't know where it came from. Okay. So we're going to put this on, and I'm going to line up the bottom because I wanted it straight at the bottom. And I am not very good at lining stuff up, guys. I'll be honest with you here. I really struggle with that part. So there we go. We've got our base on. Now, here is my Mr. and Mrs. Claus. And I'm going to zoom you in here a little bit so you can see them real good. I used some Wink of Stella on his beard. And look how shiny. I did it in grays, in the warm grays. It was 0, 1, and or W1 and W0. I don't have the W00, or I would have used it as well. Then I used a gold metallic pen to do the balls and this part of the bow down here. And then anywhere there was the little balls, instead of doing them red, because I figured there was already so much red on the hat, that I did them in gold as well. I used my puffy velvet fabric marker for the fur on the hat, on the little balls, and on the fur on the sleeve of her dress. So we're going to put that right, let's see, how do I want to do this? I think right about there. And I'm going to use my dimensionals and pop that up. And here's where you're going to see also that I'm a dimensional junkie. I don't like to put just in 4 corners because I don't want it to get smushy in the middle. So I'd much rather use a bunch of this, or a bunch of, I have, you know, the foam tape too. But I really like the fact that these are already cut, and because I don't like to use my regular scissors for things that have adhesive on the back. And so I don't want to have to mess with pulling out my Tim Holtz scissors. And I use every part of the the dimensionals. I don't waste any of it. And I'm going to take and tear another. I'm just taking these off the end, guys, so you can see I don't waste any of this at all. And I'm going to put it down the other side. There we go. So that should be pretty good. Wonder if I could put one more. See, I told you, I'm a dimensional junkie. And I will tear these off. And I've got my little trash can right here, and I just toss these over to the side and scoop them into the trash. Why am I having a heck of a time getting that one off? I don't know. But I just, you know, I like a lot. I don't want my card to get, because, you know, all my family is up north, so everything that I plan on sending up there has to go in the mail, and I don't like the thought of it getting, you know, squished. Okay, let me zoom us back out here a little bit. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to put my Santa and Mrs. Claus. I think that looks pretty good. Just kind of tap that down. I don't want to smash my puffy stuff. So I think we're on there pretty good. Now let's see what else. Okay, I wanted to use the Merry Christmas stamp that Becky gave me, and I got my little foam pad out. Okay, and I wanted to use my Rail Red Stampin' Up! Ink. And what I did was I cut a piece of cardstock at 4 1/4 by 5 1/16, and that's 4 1/4 this way by 5 1/16 this way, out of Recollections 110-pound cream cardstock. And when I stamp with block stamps or anything, this is just a piece of that fun foam. I use some score tape, and I went around the edges and taped it together so I have a nice soft cushy place to stamp on. So I'm going to put that on there. Make sure I got it nice and clean. And yes, I do love Stampin' Up! Stuff, in case you can't tell. I really like their products, and you know, when our house flooded and my Big Shot got broke, they immediately, without question, shipped me a new Big Shot. So that really moved them up in my book, because I don't think that any other place or company would have done that. So that's why I, you know, use a lot of their products. So here's my stamp. Let's see if I can center this without putting my head in the middle of the camera. I don't necessarily want it too high, too low. Straight would be good. Okay. Yes! It turned out nice! Yay! Alright. And let me close up my ink. I'm going to give that a second to dry, because their new ink pads really are juicy. Oops, sorry guys, sorry, I hit the tripod. I'm going to bring my envelope back in. I'm going to use the small hole on my hole punch, and I'm going to put a hole about, move it down a little bit, about right there. And kind of toward the center and down a little bit. I have these, you can't really see the title because of the, let me see if I can open it without, it's called Create Impress, and it's 50 of these snowflake brads, and I got one out, and I'm going to put it up here at the top because I thought that would look really pretty. I probably could have even cut the prongs off and then put it on with a glue dot or something, then you wouldn't have seen the back. But didn't think of that. That's okay. Live and learn, live and learn. I'll do that for the next one, because actually with 2 sheets, or with a sheet of 12 by 12, I can get 2 of these envelopes out of them. And I planned on trying to send this to my niece. She's older, and she has a little girl that's 3. So this is most likely going to be their Christmas card, and it gives me room down here to write. And I can slip in, I spoil her, slip in a bag of M&M minis in there for her. So I made sure that it was a little extra wide so that I had room for that. I think that's dry now. And it didn't go through because that cardstock is so nice and thick. And you just slide it in. And there's enough of it showing up here that you know to pull here. And if I wanted to, I could put a little tab, but I think it looks good and I don't want to do anything to kind of cover up the top. And there it is, guys. This is a real simple, real basic envelope card that, you know, you make your image, cut these out of your tags, bags, boxes, and more. I have really been enjoying doing my shaped cards and really, you know, getting my Cricut out and getting some more use out of it, because it, you know, as much as I enjoy my stamping now and my my Copics, you know, I paid a lot of money for that and I don't want to see it go to waste. So this has given me an opportunity to put together, you know, the 2 things that I like the most in my crafting, which is my Cricut and the neat things that it can do, and my images and markers and the way that those things turn out. And I'm going to tell you real quick here what I use for the beard. I told you already. I used W1 and 0 and put my Wink of Stella. For the bells, I used a gold metallic marker and my white gel pen to put the little glints right there in it. For the hats and Mrs. Claus's outfit and the bow right here, I used R20, 24, and 29. For Mrs. Claus's skin, it was E00, E00, and E50, with her lips being E04. And Santa's skin, I used E00, E00, E000, E50, and his lips are R20, and his eyes are B04. Woo! There went one of my inks came down. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you like this. If you like this image, give it a thumbs up, and I will put all the information below so you can check out some more of the My Bestie images and see what great Christmas images Sherry has come up with. And I'll put all the links for the other design team members so you can go see what they're making. If you like this card, leave a comment below letting me know what you think. Thanks for visiting me today, guys, and happy crafting. Bye.